Like, my parents live in Nigeria, you know, my husband's parents live in another state, and not having free options nearby to watch your kids. And then you're adding on top of that this immense financial pressure where you also can't afford childcare just for recreational free time. Then you get this experience among millennials of basically being trapped by their parenthood. And I understand the Gen X perspective of, well, you know, you're not entitled to my free time to help you watch your kids. You're the one who decided to have those kids. But at the same time, there is reasonably an implicit agreement, like generation by generation. Like, it's been assumed that when you have kids, your parents are going to help you with your kids, you know?
I feel bad that I wish my mother would like have my son all over the world or whatever. But at the same time, I know she has her responsibilities. And on top of that, like we got social media now. Our grandparents and them didn't have social media. You see people that are like in their 50s, 60s, 70s working out in the gym now, finding love, getting married in their 50s, 60s, 70s, having a life. And so now, yeah. And so now people have more to look forward to. Back then they were chilling in their house, doing their same routine every day. And it wasn't like, you know, they had so many other things to do. So they would sit in the house with their grandkids. But I feel as though we have been introduced to so much. We're evolving. This is just evolution. We're evolving.
I actually think it's very unfair that boomer parents or older Gen X parents are not stepping up to help watch their grandkids, because it's like that. A lot of times we hear like that immigrant mentality. You feel like, oh, you made it over here now let's shut the door. You got the benefit, now let's shut the door. Just like Elon Musk. Elon Musk has created his riches using government funds.
Now nobody else
can. I'm sorry, U.S. government funds. And it's like, but now you want to shut everybody else off from getting government funds. So I really don't understand the position that these grandparents are taking, where, I mean, unless you're working, I still get it if you're still working. Actually, no, I don't. Because my grandma was still working. Literally, my grandma was like, is driven like 18-wheelers, hot shot, school buses. She's literally been in logistics my entire, I guess her entire life too, whatever, before she died. But I literally would be in the car or in the truck with my grandma riding hot shot. She was going to like drop off big industrial oil parts, like things like when you process oil, like that was her job. I was with her, so she could have said, "No, Mitzi, I can't watch Aaron." You know what I mean? But she didn't, but I also think that has something to do with how she was raised, because people also pitched in for her to be raised. You know what I mean? Especially because her mother died early. You know, like my girl was like 9. So she was also the youngest. So, you know, the other kids, you lived on a farm in the country, you know, the other kids look after the young ones. But anyway, I do think it's kind of selfish of these grandparents to have that position when you literally reaped the benefit of having your aunties, your uncles, your parents, and your grandparents. Because my great-grandma used to watch me too. You had all that help, but now it's your turn and your kid got a kid, and you got to have a life too all of a sudden.
You're going to be in a nursing home.
Economy today.
They're going to be in a nursing home.
Why would you not help watch the
You
baby?
ain't living with me.
I don't get it, because like they had everybody helping. Everybody helping. But now all of a sudden you can't help.
Listen, I do not hesitate to tell my mama, when this baby come, I'm not pregnant. Practicing.
Finally.
She's going to be watching the baby. I'm not saying that I'm not at all, but this baby going to be over here all the time.
It's the family's baby.
All the time.
I also think it's so like, I guess it does depend on how you were raised. I mean, I grew up predominantly with my mother. So when I had a kid and I said, listen, I'm going to take full responsibility of this child, I took that as full responsibility of this child, because a lot of the times my mom did everything. For a good period of my time, my grandmother disowned my mother while she had me and my sister. So for me, when I signed up to having a child, I never even expected help from my mom, although I know she would be there.
So that's a trauma thing.
It's not a trauma. It's just the reality is that I can't have a baby with expectations of being spoiled by having some other help. Because the reality is, if the new norm is this, the new norm is that you're not going to be able to retire as early as you want. The new norm is going to be you have to work longer. That means us having to be the millennials with these kids. When those kids now become parents, they're going to look at it the same way as us. Listen, I got to be more active. I can't expect my parent or my child's grandparent to be there as often or frequent. I think, honestly, we've been spoiled by the village mentality and the community mentality, so that's why we're having a struggle. But one thing that I always realized...
They were spoiled.
One thing I always realized growing up, there was a lot of kids, and I would never want this to be the case, but there's a lot of kids who are now adults who valued their grandparent more than their parent. And it's because their grandparent wasn't the second set of parent. It was the parent. And I would never want, and then my mom is a great mom and I love her to death, but I would never want my mom to be overshadowed, to be the overshadowing mother figure to our children. As much as I love my mom, but...
Can I say something? I understand your perspective, but I also think family is very important. We share blood. We're family. And one thing that other races do is look out for each other. Even when it comes to politics. Oh, like, for example, let's just give this example of LeBron. That's my son. I don't care if he trash. Like, I'm putting him in there.
But that's the problem, though, because
it doesn't matter. That's how politics works. That's how politics works. That's how family works. That's how those things work. We're abandoning family. Let me finish real quick, Rico, because I'll let you finish. We're abandoning it.
We're abandoning values.
We're abandoning values.
From
Yes,
our grandparents to what's going on now because of the economy.
Right.
Because we're actually worried about our own emotions.
Right.
We are seeking our own help to be better ourselves.
Right.
So our parents, they didn't do that.
Right.
So now that they have access to the same knowledge that we have, they take advantage of it. So I don't think it's...
It may help us
monitor. I will be damned if I was 62 years old, working full time, and gotta watch a 4-fucking-year-old running around. I don't even have the energy.
Somebody did it for you.
Thank you.
Somebody did it for you.
No,
there
they
were sacrifices
didn't. It's what
for
I'm
family.
trying to tell you.
So for you personally, so this is a more of a personal
You're an
thing.
outlier. Like, your situation is...
But for me, my mom is successful because she had help. Lots of help. I want to be successful and I want my family to have my back so that I can be as successful. And you don't have to be in a nursing home. That's it. If you don't want to be in a nursing home, bro, help me. Because at the end of the day, you will be getting your butt wiped by somebody who doesn't care about and getting ulcers because you didn't make sure that you babysat your grandkids.
There's a difference between help and then overextending.
You didn't have it, so you can't really understand
what I'm saying is wanting your parent to watch your kid every other weekend or every weekend like they are a joint custody parent is not realistic, right? That is not, especially in today. I'm not saying 2, 3, 4, 5 months your parent doesn't see your child. That's not what I'm saying.
Right.
But if you got 1 weekend a month out your parent, that should be suffice, right? Like, that's how I look at it. And that's called help. Anything else is called parenting.
But for me, it's one hand washes the other. I'm there for my family 100%. So at the end of the day, it's one hand washes the other. Oh, you need these wooden things moved. Oh, you need the snow plowed. Oh, you need I just help my grandmother's plumbing. I make sure I look out for my grandma because I am appreciative. My son is with my grandmother and I am not worried. My son is with my grandma. He's going to have shea butter all over him when I get home. He's going to be in his pajamas. He's going to smell good. When I pick my son up, I be like, Dad, Grandma, how you did that? She be humming him to sleep. He needs that old good love.
He only needs it because it wasn't passed down. So you got to understand.
Let me finish, Rico. Damn, because we be letting you finish.
You don't.
At the end of it, I've been quiet. It's been hard.
All right.
I'm working on myself.
I appreciate it.
But at the end of the day, like, my grandmother gives my son a type of love, and she knows about kids so much that the things that I'm challenged with, because my son is like on the spectrum. So the things that I have challenges with, and I'm so overwhelmed and it's so hard, I depend on my grandmother and my mother to pick up the pieces where I don't know it all because they have the experience. So because you've had my cousins and my mom and everything, you know how to help me in certain areas. And I need that help. I need that support because I have gone mad like I've lost my mind at one point because I'm like, what the hell am I supposed to be doing?
And
You
are a
need the
first-time
help.
mom,
I'm a
though.
first time
Yeah.
mom.
Are you
so
an
if
only
it wasn't
child?
for a while, I was the only child.